Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited for today because I'm going to be showing you guys all of my art pieces or my favorite art pieces that I've made over the years, such as like beaded works, paintings, drawings, just everything I've been working on. And I'm also just going to explain a little bit about me and what I'm doing because I feel like I never really did that in the past. So obviously, if you guys have seen my Instagram page or my TikTok, you know that I am constantly making art, but I am actually not just doing art currently. I'm actually in college for chemistry, and I'm really hoping that in the future I can get into art conservation. I love being really detailed and precise with my artwork, and I feel like this would be the perfect way to merge like my knowledge of chemistry and my artistic skills because working in like an archive and working with old artworks to restore them and preserve them sounds like a dream to me. So that is kind of like what I've been up to these past few years, just working on moving into art conservation and preservation studies and just working towards my goals in life. So yeah, that's a little about me, and now I'll get into the artworks that I've made in the past 2 years. I feel like everyone kind of knows me for making like beaded flower pieces, like necklaces, bracelets, charms, things like this, like these flowers. But I did actually start off making drawings and paintings, and actually have a drawing I'm working on right behind me, and then like this other car drawing that I've made. But yeah, I actually love painting and drawing. I think that's like going to be my specialty as an artist. But I do love creating little trinkets for people and seeing how people use them on their backpacks, on keychains, different things like that. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys my portfolio that I've been working on since I think fall of last year. So this has newer artworks, and then I'm going to show you my painting. So she's a little messy, but this is just a work in progress of an orchid that I really liked. And then this first piece is the first lily that I ever drew, and I love this piece. This is actually one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. Lilies are my favorite flowers, so I'm always drawing them. And I feel like all my art centers around flowers, so kind of makes sense that I'd be drawing them. Okay, and then next I have these pieces. This first one is an iris, and I love this drawing. I drew it, I I kind of just drew it because I wanted to draw a blue flower, but my friend and her mom love blue irises, so I also made it kind of for them. And my friend actually gave it to her mom and she loved it, and I was just like so excited to see how my art can like have that kind of an impact on people. So that's kind of why I've continued to draw flowers like this and make prints. So all of these are also available as prints, by the way, and they will be on my Etsy soon, so stay tuned. Okay, and then the next piece I have is this orange lily. Not my favorite, but I do love the colors I used. I was trying to experiment using like more orange, warm yellow tones and just see how I worked with those because I usually use like pink, peach, like blue. I never really work with orange, but I'm really happy with this piece and how it turned out. And I'd like to experiment more with orange, but I'm not really sure what to draw, so that's a work in progress. And next up, one of my favorite pieces I've made that sometimes people don't really know what it is this piece right here. This is a blackberry drawing, and I really like it because it's cut in half, and I just kind of worked with the colors and added all these random colors in that I thought would make it pop, like these oranges, cyans, lime, neon greens, and I just love how this work turned out. It looks so juicy and like so cool, and seeing it on people's walls, I'm always like kind of amazed because I'm like, wow, I don't know. It's so interesting to me. I love seeing like things close up, like fruits, flowers, anything with detail really. And then this is another orchid drawing that I did. This is probably my favorite orchid drawing. I just found this reference on Pinterest and I loved it so much that I drew it. And I was also experimenting with colors here. You can kind of see the cyan again. And honestly, this might be my second favorite drawing. If you can't tell, I really like the pink flowers or like purplish flowers. So yeah, those are some of my drawings in here. And then I have some more lilies. This one is so pretty. My friend got a bouquet for Valentine's Day, I believe, sometime around then, and I loved the lilies she got, so I literally just took a picture and drew it. And then I drew this one on a plane. I just get bored sometimes, and I will just draw on the plane, and it was really fun. And finally, I think these are the last two drawings I have in here. These are just little works I've done. This is just a study of like oranges, and I'm a chem student, so I just was really interested in drawing the chemical. And like this is a terpene. It's like a repeating unit in chemistry. I thought that was cool. And yeah, I just drew that there. And then this is a bouquet of tulips that I got. I thought it was so cute, so I drew it again. So that's my sketchbook, well, portfolio of drawings that I've done these past 2 years. So I'm gonna move into paintings now because I love the paintings I've worked on. Painting time. So I'm leaving these on the wall because they're actually stuck on there, some with command strips, so I can't take them off. So here is my first painting. This is the first one that I did in like 2024. I think I made this in the summertime, and I was really focusing on like the nice details in the car, like right here. And then also like the light. I really just loved experimenting with the reflections on that car. And then at this time, I kind of got really invested in drawing cars or painting cars too. So I made another art piece right here. This one I also did that summer, but this one I focused also on like the reflections again, but also the shine of the ribbon up on the top, and then these flowers as well. I really love the flower detail. And this is kind of the first painting that got me into drawing like more floral stuff and painting more floral stuff too. And now I have the actual floral painting that I made. And this one I loved making. I made it earlier this year in May, I believe, but I love like the beads that I incorporated. You can get a better view here, but like these beads that I have here, and then like also just like all of these little details were so fun to do, and I loved it. So yeah. And here's a new commission that I'm working on right now that I really love. So this piece is kind of inspired by Monet's lilies and just like the vibrant greens and pinks that he uses in his works. And I really love like the flowers that I've added here and the boat and just like the texture of these. So I'm really excited to keep working on this painting. But yeah, this is my most recent work of paintings, and then I've also been doing beadwork as well. And now onto beads. These are some of my favorite works because you can wear them, use them as keychains, and I've made so many for so many different people, and it's been really fun. So all of my beaded works are actually just in this box because I have an art market coming up in about a week, I believe. It's on Friday, and if you're in Bloomington, Indiana, you should definitely pull up because you can get one of these flowers or an art print, so stay tuned. But anyway, these are some of my favorite pieces because I've just been experimenting, making different flower patterns or just coming up with my own designs and my own style when it comes to beading. And it's honestly been a really fun journey for me. So let me show you some of my favorite pieces. I think by far, this is one of my favorite pieces. This is a spider lily, and I honestly just had like a really fun time making these pistils, like the center part of the flower, and also just adding all of the different colors on the edges. And then this was also the first time I used rose gold wire, so that made it really fun to do. Another favorite of mine is this blue necklace. I've been obsessed with making these little lily and orchid necklaces, especially with this green chain, because I don't know, I think they just look so good, and they kind of go with every outfit, at least for me because I wear like very colorful clothes. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. I just love the color and the texture of this flower. And again, the rose gold wire has been so fun to use. All of these materials are also from Michaels, so if you ever want to make your own flower, I have other videos, and then also you can get the materials from Michaels. Not Joann's anymore because they're closed, so Michaels is probably your best bet, or Amazon. Anyway, back to the flower designs I've made. This is by far my favorite keychain that I've made. It's very simple. It's literally just a little lily with two stems. I'm calling them stems. They're called something else and I always forget. but these two little stems in the middle, and she's just so pretty, and I really want someone to buy her at the next market so she has a home. But I love this design. This is kind of the first design I made, and that's kind of what I've been building off of since making this flower. Another thing I've been very excited about is exploring making jewelry that is not just a necklace. So these are earrings, and they're like pretty big. They look like this. But I think they're such a statement piece if you're someone who likes to have like a variety of different type of jewelry, not just like basic earrings. I think these would make such a nice like addition to wearing a dress or just like a casual outfit too in the summer. These are just so gorgeous. I also just have so many like necklace designs that I've been working on with the same kind of pattern with the orchid and then the like different chain colors. And I've just loved like varying the color of the flower versus the chain and seeing what happens and just having a lot of fun with these because they all turn out so gorgeous, like no matter what color you use. Okay, I have a lot of floral designs and beaded works in my collection, so I'm not going to show all of them, but I do want to show this one. This is kind of something I've been experimenting with. I found it on Pinterest, where you can make these little keychains out of safety pins. And I made these two. This one is an apple, and these are cherries. They're kind of difficult to see, so they're not my favorites, but I really like how they turned out. And I think if I could figure out a way to make the patterns like better or just come up with like new designs or like more interesting designs, I would love making more of these because they're so simple, they're so easy to make. I do have one final piece that I want to show. This is one of my favorites because I didn't make it this past year. I made it the year before, but it's one of my favorite things I've ever made. So I had this denim shirt when I was like a sophomore in college and I never wore it, but then I was like, I can just use this because it's such a soft material. And I made this bag from scratch. And she has so many cool details, like this flower that I made and then put some beads on. I embroidered this little patch on the bag too, and then a pocket as well. And she's just very useful. Like, I take this bag out all the time in the summer. It's really fun to use, and I want to make more. I want to make more of these little charms for sure because I feel like people would love to accessorize with them. So yeah, that's kind of all of my collection from 2024 to 2025. And I'm so excited to keep making work and also make stuff in 2026. And yeah, so let me know what piece or what art style was your favorite and if you'd ever want to see more of these items or see them on my Etsy. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and also let me know what you want to see me make next, I guess. I'll see you next time.